leader of EDWA, our president, Comrade P.K. Srimati, our dear, most hardworking General Secretary, Comrade Mariam Dhavle, our honored guest, Rohini ji, thank you for your inspirational speech. Dear Shanta ji, thank you for chairing the reception committee. Nisha ji, thank you for being here, and the other women's organization leaders, all the leaders on the stage, मेरी बहुत ही प्रिय बहनों, कुछ भाई भी हैं, भाई, our dear sisters, delegates, I extend my warm greetings to you on this occasion of the 14th National Conference of EDWA being held here in Hyderabad. I pay my homage to our martyrs, to our leaders, and all the activists who passed away in this period. And it is their sacrifices which have helped us emerge as the largest women's organization in India with 1,10,00,000 members today in January 2026. हमें गर्व है इस बात की कि पिछले 3 साल में जहां भी इस देश में संघर्ष हुए, जहां भी कोई औरत ने अपनी आवाज उठाई, वहां EDWA साथ थी. In every struggle in India, whether it was the violence in homes and public places, in workplaces, whether it was the fight of the female wrestlers, whether it was the RG Corps, একটা ঐতিহাসিক সংগ্রাম ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলে আমাদের এডওয়ার্ড সাথীজি. The RG Corps struggle in West Bengal, the struggle of the Hathras case, the struggle for justice for the Kuldeep Sengar victim, उत्तराखंड में अंकिता भंडारी के केस के लिए जो हमारी महिलाएं उत्तराखंड में इकट्ठे हुए हैं, and along with that, the struggle for democratic rights against police repression, as in Bengal against the TMC government, Tripura against the BJP, EDWA was and is there. आर्थिक मुद्दे पर EDWA ने नेतृत्व दी बहुत सारे संघर्षों में. जब माइक्रो फाइनेंस कंपनियों की लूट हुआ, तो ये हमारी EDWA की राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व की दिशा के आधार पर देश भर में हमने संघर्ष किया. On the Manrega sites in Karnataka, in the house sites and land as in Telangana, in Bihar, especially Adivasi women, in the huge mobilization of Adivasi women in Palghar, 30,000 महिलाएं, आदिवासी औरतें एक होकर पालघर में उन्होंने एक जबरदस्त जुलूस निकाला EDWA की नेतृत्व में. पोलावरम में, आंध्र प्रदेश में आदिवासियों की संघर्षों में बुलडोजर को रोकने के लिए लखनऊ में, दिल्ली में, and my dear sisters, in the fight for secularism, when minority communities were under attack, as in the Bilkis Banu case, in the Chhattisgarh nuns case, we have seen our EDWA there in the struggle. In Kerala, a state which is being targeted by the central government, it is our women in Kerala, our sisters in Kerala, EDWA in Kerala, who were in the forefront of the struggle for alternative policies. And I must say to my sisters in Kerala, not only in the struggle for alternative policies, but your organizational model also, the Kerala model in organization, That is also something that we have seen. In Tamil Nadu, so many struggles, leadership of so many struggles, particularly in the anti-caste struggles, Tamil Nadu has played a very, very leading role. My dear sisters, this is our tradition, this is our history. And I am sure in the coming days, the solidarity you have shown with Kisans, with Khet Mazdurs, with scheme workers, I am sure in the coming days, the Central Trade Union strike, the February 12th strike call which is there, I am sure AIDWA will be out on the streets in support of the working class of India against the black labor codes which are being. इसलिए मैं कहती हूँ, ये सम्मेलन में आप गर्व के साथ कह सकते हैं कि हमारे देश के हर आंदोलन में, न्याय के लिए हर आवाज में, एडवा का वो झंडा में जो महिला है, मुक्का तान कर खड़ी है, that woman with her fist raised, the AIDWA symbol. My dear friends, I am proud, so proud of each one of you that you were there with your fist raised in every struggle for justice. I congratulate you and I extend to you my love, my greetings and my salams for your struggle. When we review our work, which you will no doubt do, we remember the traditions of our struggle, हमारे संघर्षों का जो परंपरा है. Our struggle, our approach was born in the crucible of the freedom struggle of India. And in that freedom struggle, our foremothers, many of their pictures are here, so many of our heroines, they were inspired by socialism, by the Russian Revolution, by the dream not only for women's equality, but women's equality linked to the struggle against exploitation, capitalism. ये हमारा tradition है. We never ever saw women or women's movements and struggles only in the paradigm of men and women. We looked further to socio-economic structures. हमारा संघर्ष कभी केवल औरत और मर्द के बीच हमने नहीं देखा. हमने हमेशा हमारा संघर्ष को एक व्यापक आर्थिक सामाजिक ढांचा के साथ जुड़ा हुआ संघर्ष था. That is our tradition. And we were inspired by linking up our struggle for emancipation with the struggle for justice, for equality. And here in India, my dear sisters, we know our struggle is linked to the socio-economic structures of India. हमारे यहाँ के जो सामाजिक आर्थिक ढांचा है, उसको ही समझकर हमारे नारी मुक्ति का संघर्ष है. आजकल एक नया थियोरी है इंटरसेक्शनलिज्म. हमारे जो संघर्ष है वो तो हमेशा हमने जाति प्रथा को समझने का प्रयास किया, वर्ग को हमें समझने का प्रयास किया. So these new theories of intersectionality, our movements, our struggles have been rooted in understanding socio-economic structures. And we know the struggle for women is deeply linked with the struggle against caste in India. जब तक जाति प्रथा है हमारे देश में, तब तक नारी मुक्ति की बात हम सोच नहीं सकते. जब तक ये वर्गीय ढांचा का शोषण है, हम सोच नहीं सकते हैं. और इसीलिए एडवा का जो दृष्टि है, our approach, our ideology is very much linked to the struggle against capitalism and for a more equal, just, for a socialist India. हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में शुरू से ही हमारा एक अप्रोच था कि सबसे गरीब औरतों के बीच जो शोषण तीन तरह की शोषण, जाति, वर्ग और लिंग, तीनों के खिलाफ हमारा संघर्ष था। हमने हमेशा गरीब औरतों की बात, वर्किंग क्लास औरतों की बात, गरीब किसान की बात, we have always looked at the spine of our movement being rooted in the poor women of India, in the women who face triple exploitation, Dalit, Adivasi, against caste, working class women, poor rural women. That is our legacy, my dear friends. And today in Edwa, we are proud that the large majority of our members in Edwa belong to the classes who labor and who have arrived at a situation which is linked to the development of India. तो ये जो हमारी विरासत है, इसके आधार पर आज हम इस दुनिया को देखते हैं और मुझे उम्मीद है कि ये जो गरीबों के ऊपर जो पूंजीवाद का जो एक जबरदस्त हमला है, उसके खिलाफ हमारी एडवा आगे होकर लड़ाई लड़ेगी. Today in our country we know that in the present situation the most powerful force that wants to destroy even the inadequate rights that we have today, whatever we have is because of our struggle. Our constitutional guarantees, which today are under severe attack. And we know the attack comes from the pro-corporate communal RSS BJP regime, who are targeting the values of secularism, democracy, and equality in the Constitution of India. ये RSS BJP की राज के तहत आज हमला है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पर, और इसलिए आज हम जानते हैं कि हमारा मुख्य संघर्ष होगा ये सांप्रदायिक मनोवादी संस्कृतियों के खिलाफ, नीतियों के खिलाफ, महिलाओं के अधिकार को बचाने के लिए, against communalism, against neoliberal policies, for our rights, for justice. We have to be clear that this is what we are looking at today. But there is another aspect. हम लोग एक दुनिया में रहते हैं और उस दुनिया को हम नजरअंदाज नहीं कर सकते. आज क्या हो रहा है गाजा में? क्या हो रहा है? In real time, we are seeing unfolding before us a genocide of the most monstrous degree, led by Zionist Israel, backed by US imperialism, the Trump administration in India. My dear sisters, today, from this platform, we express our shame. हमें शर्म आती है, हमारा सिर झुकता है कि जब दुनिया में लोग खड़े हो रहे हैं गाजा की समर्थन में, our government, Modi government, the so-called Vishwa Guru of India and of the world, turned the other way. They looked the other way when women and children of Gaza were being butchered, when Gaza's national sovereignty was being murdered. We hang our heads in shame. It does not reflect the feelings of the people of India. Today we express our solidarity with Gaza. We stretch our hands in love and solidarity with Gaza. And we say, Gaza, what you have faced, what you have suffered, we can never forget. We are with you today in your struggle for justice and sovereignty. And it is this imperialism, this aggressive imperialism, which dares to go to Venezuela and kidnap the president of Venezuela while the world looks on. ये हम सोच नहीं सकते हैं. किसी भी देश के अंदर जाकर अपहरण करके उस देश के चुने हुए अध्यक्ष को अमेरिका में जाकर बंद कर रहे हैं. क्यों? तेल के कारण. For oil wealth and to dominate the Western Hemisphere. So, my dear friends, in expression of our solidarity with Venezuela, we also say to this Modi government, stop your craven subordination to Donald Trump and imperialist aggression. हम कहते हैं बंद करो ये गुलामी, बंद करो ये घुटना टेकना. ये हिंदुस्तान है, ये हमारा देश है, हमारा परंपरा है. साम्राज्यवाद के ये हमले को हम कभी बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते हैं. And today, from this ADWA platform, we say to be patriotic today is to fight imperialism, to fight US aggression, to fight Zionism, to stand with the people of the world in solidarity, and to fight and ensure that our government, the Modi government, supports the struggles of nations for freedom and in defense of national sovereignty. ये हमारा परंपरा है और आज हम उस परंपरा को एक बार फिर सख्त शब्दों में उसको प्रकट करते हैं. मेरे प्रिय साथियों, सबसे बड़ा हमला आज हुआ है मनरेगा पर. हमारी बहन शांता सिन्हा ने उसका जिक्र किया है. मैं पूरे कानून के बीच नहीं जा रही हूँ आज, but please understand, this Manrega attack to destroy Manrega, when 80 to 85% women in many states, in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, in Karnataka, in so many states of India, Manrega has been a lifeline. We have fought for Manrega. It was the left which fought for Manrega. And today they are destroying that lifeline. Therefore, I am sure in this conference of ADWA, we are going to discuss and explore how we can go to every single, wherever ADWA units are there, in every village of India, we will go to ensure and fight a reversal of this policy against the rural poor. और क्या कहते हैं, क्यों मनरेगा को खत्म किया? वो कहते हैं 5% सिर्फ आज गरीबी रेखा के नीचे औरतें हैं, लोग हैं. Only 5% poverty in India. And what is the poverty line? What is the poverty line in India today? If you calculate, it is 57 rupees. 57 रुपया, 57 रुपया के नीचे जो है वो गरीब है. आप बताइए 57 रुपया में आधा लीटर पकाने का तेल भी मिलता है क्या? 57 rupees. And they say because there are only 5% under 57 rupees, you don't need मनरेगा. तो ये बहुत, पहले तो गरीबी रेखा को बदलो और उसके बाद उसके अधिकार को खत्म करो. So the attack on मनरेगा is an attack on our right to work. It was a partial recognition of the right to work. It is an attack on the right to work, and we have to fight that attack. That is a very, very important task before us today. My dear sisters, we all know what Hindutva means. And today when I speak about Hindutva and the rise of Hindutva forces, Hindutva or Hindu इसमें अंतर है, आप लोग सब जानते हैं. I'm not going into that today at all. But we are talking about a Hindutva Rashtra which uses religion as an instrument to divide people and to attack minority communities in India. It is a political construct by the RSS and its ecosystem. And today Hindutva is, I believe, and I'm sure you will discuss this in your conference, it is the greatest challenge to our very existence as a secular democratic republic. It is a difference today because unless we understand that Hindutva seeks to change the very nature of social relations as guaranteed by the Constitution of India, that is why we have to fight Hindutva, because the main impact of Hindutva and its ideologies, its cultures, is on women. हमारे ऊपर उसका सबसे ज़बरदस्त और सबसे ज़्यादा उसका इम्पैक्ट है. तो हिंदुत्व के अलग अलग जो पहलू है, उसकी जो मनुवादी सोच है, उसके परिवार के बारे में जो सोच है, इसको हमें समझने की ज़रूरत है. But there is another aspect today which I think we have to understand. And that aspect is the mobilization of right-wing women. It is not men now. It is women. ये औरतें हैं जो हिंदुत्व का मैसेज लेकर जा रहे हैं महिलाओं के बीच. वो औरतें हैं जो सबसे गंदे गालियां देते हैं. वो औरतें हैं जो एक मुसलमान छोटे दुकानदार के सामने खड़े होकर सबसे गंदे गालियां देते हैं. वो औरतें हैं. This is a new mobilization in the last 5 years, and we have to understand this mobilization is a response to our mobilization, because women's movements have been the most powerful movement against Hindutva for progressive values. Therefore, the RSS has understood, while keeping its patriarchal structure intact, while keeping the woman subordinate in the family, which is why not a single RSS BJP leader will ever speak about 7,000 women who have been burnt for dowry in the house. 7,000 women, mainly Hindu women, but you'll never hear an RSS BJP leader speak about it. कभी नहीं बोलेंगे कि 7,000 महिलाएं औसतन एक साल में जिंदा जलाकर मारे जाते. कभी बोलेंगे नहीं. वो हिंदू औरतें हैं लेकिन एक शब्द नहीं बोलेंगे. So that is there, but at the same time they are mobilizing women on right-wing platforms. How do you deal with it? How do you converse with the women who are in bhajan mandalis, who have deep religious belief, who are being mobilized throughout the country? We respect religious belief, but when religion is used as a political instrument for right-wing mobilization, ADWA has to always fight it. How do we do that, my dear friends? That is a very big challenge. You have so much experience, a world of experience, but now it is a new stage, and we should not shirk to expose these right-wing women, these RSS women who will never speak about emancipation, who will never speak about women's autonomy and independence, who will only support Manuvadi cultures, but they become instruments of hatred in the hands of the RSS. How do you fight that? That is a very critical question. And the last point I want to make, today, because of our movements, women's independence in political decisions has grown enormously. पहले कभी नहीं था कि औरतें अलग वोट देने के अधिकार के रूप में अपने आधार पर करते हैं, कभी नहीं था, कभी नहीं था। लेकिन आज औरतें हमारे आंदोलनों के कारण अलग वोट देते हैं। पुरुष कुछ कहता, औरत कुछ करेगी। We are proud that in Kerala, every analysis shows that the women of Kerala vote more than men for the LDF. It's a fact. So women have an independent vote. So what are the bourgeois parties doing? We know women's unpaid work. हमें पता है, women's unpaid work, if you have an assessment, if you monetize it, it is 22.6 lakh crore rupees in a year. 22.6 lakh crore rupees, according to an SBI survey. Unpaid monetization of women's domestic work. That is not counting women's work in family enterprises, unpaid work in farms. So women work. In fact, the saying, there's a saying, women hold up half the sky. Actually, women hold up much more than half the sky. Much more. Everywhere it's shown that women work much more than men. But let's forget that for now. I mean, don't forget it. But I'm moving on to my second point, which is that the direct cash benefit to women from 1,500 rupees to 2,500 rupees. How do we look at it? Modi had said, ye revdi hai. But 15 of Modi's state governments have to promise to give that money because women are being denied their rightful share in national resources. My dear sisters, we look at it as a right. We look at it as rights holders. We are not beneficiaries. ये टीएमसी सरकार बोलती है ना बंगाल में कि हमें वोट नहीं दोगे तो तुम्हारा 1,000 रुपया हम खत्म करेंगे। क्या बकवास है? किसी चीफ मिनिस्टर का बाप का पैसा नहीं है, ये पब्लिक मनी है। It is our right. And therefore, in many states where they have made such promises, they are not implementing that promise. So we have to engage with that. We have to fight for that. We cannot step back and say, "Arey, this is Sarkari, what to do? Women are voting for that money." No. It is our right. And as part of our right, we have to engage with all these schemes to prevent the ruling classes, and particularly this Modi pro-corporate, pro-Adani Ambani government. We have to fight against them to demand the rightful share of women. Very soon, state assembly elections are going to be held, and we know how important those state assembly elections are going to be. We have fought, and because of our fight, governments across India can no longer ignore women's rights, our fights against violence, our fights for security, our fights for economic rights and equality. These are basic issues. And today, when this communal, I would say this communal monster threatens each and every one of us, in these state elections, I am sure, as is our tradition, in all the states which are going to elections, ADWA will certainly stand up and fight for a vision of the left, a vision for the left and democratic forces to grow strong across the states where the elections are being held. I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. मैं यही कहना चाहती हूँ कि 14 सम्मेलन एडवा के हुए हैं और हर सम्मेलन में एक नई चुनौती के रूप में आपने बहस की. You have always understood the new challenge. In all these years of the ADWA growing from strength to strength, and I'm sure this 14th National Conference will also give us a stronger vision to defeat the forces, dark forces who want to engulf India in hatred, and we will fight for our alternative vision for women's emancipation. Thank you very much. ADWA Zindabad, Nari Mukti Zindabad.
ADWA Zindabad.